we move into a session that explores one of the most powerful and often, unfortunately, still underestimated dimensions of hospitality, the sensory layer. Music and scent shape how we arrive, how we feel, and how we remember a place. And today we look at how neuroscience helps us understand why these elements matter so deeply for emotional well-being. I'm delighted to welcome our first speaker, someone who has been shaping the field of music-driven emotional design with remarkable precision. Pascal Perruchot, co-founder and managing director of Music iView, works at the intersection of music, strategy, neuroscience, and brand identity, helping hotels translate who they are into what guests feel. Pascal, the stage is yours. Please join me in welcoming.
Merci beaucoup. Hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today. And hello to my husband, my so beloved love. He is also the co-founder of Music iView. Hello to Marjolaine, who joined Music iView recently. So the conference is about the importance of senses in guest experience. I will start with explaining the importance of music and sound, and will be followed by another Pascal regarding fragrances. Regarding music, I would like you to think of a defining moment in your life. You can even close your eyes, maybe. A first love, a summer with friends, even a goodbye. Do you have this moment? I'm almost certain there is a song attached to this memory. From a scientific perspective, science has confirmed what philosophers sensed. Music is a language of emotion. Scientifically, today it has proved music is universal. So to start with, I would like to share with you a short video with a very nice music that allows you to see what is happening in our brain when we listen to music, and this is possible through imaging in URM. Isn't it beautiful and in the same time powerful? When we listen to music, multiple regions of our brain are activated. The auditory cortex for the sound proceeding, the amygdala for the emotion, the hippocampus for the memory, and the prefrontal cortex for attention and regulation. So music doesn't activate only one zone, it activates a whole network. A large part of the brain is involved, including regions linked to prediction, memory, emotion, and even language. Research have also shown that the musical memory engages significantly broader brain regions than the language memory. What is remarkable about us humans is that we have the natural capacity to synchronize to beat. So we can have actually the ability to move and to dance together. There is another species who can do this, and these are birds, parrots, and the cockatoos. I guess you've seen the video of it. It's quite funny to look at it. So sound isn't decoration or a nice extra. It's a strategic level that reshapes physiology, perceived time, and behavior, making it a direct link to guest well-being. We have all experienced what's happening when we listen to music, but let's go through it again. Internally, it will affect our heartbeat, breathing patterns, stress response, and attention, even our brain chemistry. Later studies prove that it also activates the brain reward system, for instance with dopamine, which is linked to pleasure. Externally, when we listen to music, we have all experience having goosebumps, having wanting to tears, want to cry, or the urge to move or to dance. In short, music can shift state of our body, of our mind, and our emotions. Music neuroscience is quite young, but the evidence is growing fast. We know sometimes music can unlock memories in cases of Alzheimer's. Rhythm can support movement when it comes to Parkinson. For those two examples, I don't know if you've seen there, but they're very powerful videos showing this. But music is also used in neurodevelopment contexts for autism, for instance. When we listen to music together, we synchronize. Our brains begin to align, and that alignment strengthens emotional connection and empathy. Also in rehabilitation, music can lift mood, engagement, and structure time, attention, and energy by acting the brain's reward chemistry. So music can act actually like a harmonizer, aligning attention, emotion, and physiology. Now here's a fascinating part, and that's where hospitality becomes a perfect field. What neuroscience have made very clear is that even when we are not listening to music, our brain is still working. Our brain is proceeding, so even if we are not listening, the brain is listening. It encodes association, and those associations quietly influence mood, tension levels, and memory. So sound is a tangible and fluid and continuously, but still is always there. It shapes arrivals, departures, transition moments, waiting moments, social interaction, and recovery. So now that we've seen that music has a real powerful impact on our brain, on our body, and our emotions, here an essential question. How do we turn this into concrete hospitality experience? Music is not just sound. It engages movement, vision, touch, and social feedbacks. Music had the power to trigger emotions, memory, and even movement. How does music do this? Because it is a structure pattern, and our brain is built to detect, predict, synchronize, and give meaning to it. I will share with you a few musical metrics to explain very concretely how it works. Tempo and rhythm. We don't just hear tempo, we synchronize to it. A faster tempo increases walking speed and energy levels. In practice, tempo can make guests move through a space more quickly. We don't just hear volume, we react to it. Turn it up, and the people talk louder, stay shorter, and feel room is more crowded. Frequency balance. We don't just hear frequency, we feel them. Too much bass can create tension and fatigue, while too much treble makes people wince and withdraw. Timbre and texture is actually the color of sound. It changes social distance. Warm texture invite people to linger and to connect, while sharp, bright texture push the room into a faster mode. Harmony. Harmony sets expectation. Harmony sets the nervous system. Richer harmony keeps the attention engaged. 6, dynamic over time. Dynamics shape the levels of staying power. Gentle variation keeps engagement. Constant intensity exhausts. And at least, soundstage. Space is perceived through sound. A close mix feels intimate. A wider mix makes the room feel calmer and more open. Still, two concepts to take in consideration. One is the context. The same song can feel very differently depending on the crowding, on the light, on the purpose, but also on the time of the day. And then comes the example of a familiar song. A familiar song can soothe fast, or hitchhike the attention because memory activates in a second. So these are only few settings we can tune in to shape guest experience. The reality today is very different. Sound is still one of the most undergoverned dimensions in marketing, in branding, in luxury, in wellness. Why? Maybe because unlike materials or lighting, sounds can't be seen. It doesn't appear on the plan or on a mood board, so it's often slipped out the decision process. As a result, today, music is frequently treated like an afterthought. A generic stream, an improvised playlist, was simply there to fill out the silence. And when sound is left to chance, the experience becomes inconsistent. Both guests and the team feel it, even if they cannot name it. But when sound is designed, governed, it becomes quite a performance tool. Brand values come through more clearly, team work more smoothly, guests linger longer, and the atmosphere stay coherent. Luxury is about creating meaningful experience and increasingly about supporting guest experience and well-being. Sound has the power to do that, but only when it is intentionally designed, thought through, structured, managed over time, and not left over as a background noise. So when music is treated as a strategic layer, it reshapes how the place feels, how time is perceived, and what guests will remember and take back home. Recognizing sound as a matter of project, brand, or strategy is a subtle shift, but a decisive one. What we hear becomes as important as what we see. As Chef Garnier, one of our clients, once said, a week after a gastronomical experience, we don't longer remember what was in the plate precisely, but guests remember how they felt. And that feeling is shaped by countless details, visible and invisible, that together create an atmosphere. And music is a fundamental part of it. Sound keeps shaping the experience moment after moment, and that's what is staying in your memory. But when the sonic landscape is designed, written, governed, it stops quietly undermining the promise of a place, starts delivering the place where, and the point where architecture, hospitality, and brand storytelling meet. Treating sound as a strategic asset in luxury hospitality, in wellness, in hospitality, as the same level as visual identity opens a different horizon. Places will be remembered not only for how they look, but the singular way they inhabit the guest's memory and imagination. This is how atmosphere becomes strategy and how multi-sensorial experience become a lasting souvenir. So, as you understood, the purpose of this talk was not to talk about background music or a magic playlist, but highlight something much deeper. Sound is one of the most powerful and most underestimated layers in guest experience. As we showed, neuroscience has confirmed an intuition. We now have clear evidence that music shapes attention, stress response, social behavior, emotional memory, and that even when we think we are not listening, we are listening, or at least our brain. So the real question is not what should we play, but what we want people, guests, to feel. And there's where an agency like Music iView comes in, as a partner and not as a playlist curator. Together, we will define the sound identity, We will translate them into clear principle. We help the team to keep this coherent over time in spaces and through the whole day. Because research and field experience converge to one point. Sound is not a detail. The sound identity is an invincible language, one that brings coherence, emotional precision, and well-being to guests and team alike. So remember, you can close your eyes, but not close your ears. I wish you all a wonderful musical voyage in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for these amazing insights you just shared with us. To deepen the conversation, I would like to explore a few questions that connect to your work, to the broader shifts we're seeing in the hospitality. The first question is aiming about science and the reference framework. And the question would be, if someone in the audience wanted to go deeper after this talk, what are the key names, research centers, or scientific frameworks you would recommend reading?
The universities that work the most on this subject is McGill in Canada, and there is one in France, which is in Caen. And the researcher who are the most famous on this subject is Robert Zatorre, then a Frenchman, Hervé Patel, a German person, Thomas Fritz, and they are really part of the neuroimaging and clinical study about the influence of music in your brain, what does change. And then on another level, there is also Isabelle Perez, but she's more on music recognition, but she's also Canadian, so she knows the subject very well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Time-wise, I think we only have time for one last question.
Go ahead.
And then I would ask the final questions in regards of our audience, I think. And finally, what would you say to hotel leaders who still hesitate to invest in this expertise? What is the one argument they cannot ignore anymore and they should act on now?
I believe considering music and the same level as the sound identity is benefit for everyone. First of all, for the brand, because it will be recognized. It makes also a differentiation be point of view. Then for the guest, but as I said, they will remember their experience. And these souvenirs, we have all souvenirs of a song that we listened in a specific places, and we have images coming through with it. And that's what we trying to create, to find tracks that are different. And then when they will listening at one place, they will remember, I've been there and I was listening or discovering this song. And then also for the team, because the team listening most of the time in hospitality, they hear the same playlist day after day, and they don't hear it anymore, or it gets on their nerves, and that reflects on the service as well. So I would say it's quite beneficial for everyone.
Thank you so much. I will take this as a final statement. Thank you for joining us today on this stage.
You're more welcome.
And to continue now our exploration of sensory design, I will now hand over to my colleague Lucas Bierman, who will introduce our second speaker for this keynote, someone bringing the world of scent to life.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Lucas. Well, the next is actually very closely related, as it also has to do with neuroscience. Now we are going to be looking at a different part, which is the scent piece. It is my very great honor to introduce CEO and founder of her own brand with a specialization on neuroscience with scientific validation, Pascal Fontaine.
Does it work? Do you hear me? Yeah, okay, sorry. I just make a little setup and take my magic power with me. Okay. Hop. Okay, so bonjour. Maybe you should move a bit, Christophe? No? Some wave? Okay, don't worry, it's okay. So good morning, everybody. I think the morning was very intense and very inspiring. And I'm really happy to be there and to talk about neuroscience and sense and how it can trigger your emotion. So thank you for Carolina from the Hack School for this invitation and ITB. So if my statistics are correct, 80% of you are either tired, need to relax, minimum energy, or focus to listen to me for the next 15 minutes. So you have a great student that is offering you at the moment my magic power, which is focus fragrance. And this is what I do anytime I need to focus. So I spray in my palm hands, and I get immersed. So maybe let's just travel together, not by screen, by plane, or by car, but with a breath. So can you do it? Or have you get it? Or if not, you will do later. So you have to get immersed yourself. And in a moment where there's an acceleration, the true luxury is the capacity to reconnect to yourself, to make a pause. So this is very important for the future, that the scent can get and help you to get to yourself. So let's go to this presentation where we design not only room, but the inner state, to pause, to breathe, and to reconnect. And allow me to present not as a decoration, but sense as a getaway to escape. So let's just have a look to my personal background. So I'm Pascale Fontaine, I'm the CEO of the Feel Good Beauty, and I'm an executive with more than 25 years of experience into beauty, with a strong dedication and innovation in fragrance, but I did also perfume, makeup, body care at global level for brands such Beckham, Gaga, Adidas, and I love and I have passion for beauty. At personal level, I'm someone which is a deep fan of sport and well-being and everything that can help me to improve my performance. And I'm the happy daughter of 2 doctors, one in FMRI and one in oncology. So with this background, back to 2016, I say, hey, Pascale, what if you don't stop to do business for the other, but make a brand, combine all your passion for fragrance, science, and sport to get the solution to move back and to boost your energy or relaxation or joy, thanks to experts. So I have decided to create Amour, which is the first French neurolfactive brand of mood booster with efficacy proven in neuroscience by independent lab. But we'll see that later. So the invisible is very fun because with Pascale we have a lot in common. So we are Pascale, so you can be sure that Pascale thinks out of the blocks. And we're going to speak about the invisible. And the invisible is very important. And I have a fascination for this art that have transcended multi-generation and multi-culture. Just imagine that back to 1,600 before Jesus Christ, they were using the fragrance to connect with the God, to the divinity. The Kifi fragrance, which is one of the first developed, they were using it to the pass from funeral for the death to the passport to go to the divinity. At the same time, we were burning plant resin for therapeutic reason. So the fragrance is not only spiritual, but also a way to cure yourself, therapeutic, and to improve your well-being from ages. So this is what is super interesting and fascinating. And you, I'm sure, have you ever walked into a lobby, get this moment where you feel something shift inside yourself? What that? A moment of relaxation or maybe a spark of energy. And this moment is emotional, and most of the time it's irrational. And very often, this is the olfactory power. Because the scent doesn't ask for permission to be thrown to your brain and doesn't wait for interpretation. It goes straight to your emotional brain. So, why? why scents go to your emotional brain. And this is very important because the fragrance is the only sense that go to your limbic system. And there is two areas there, which is the amygdala and the hippocamp. So it's very biologic. When you scent a fragrance, there is thousands of molecules that are captured by 400 receptors in your nasal canal here. And they go straight to this amygdala, which is emotion, and hippocamp, which is memory. So it's irrational what you can do with it. And this is the magic. So when a consumer, a guest, come to your place, he smells exactly that. So it's very irrational. So you can change the lobby, you can change the furniture, but what you cannot change is what's going to fill your consumer. And it's going to impact the perception of the luxury or the safety or the comfort of your place. So there is one way now to use the fragrance when you compete in location, in great services and so on, how you can use this magical power of engineered fragrance to make the difference and get people a memory and encore and amplify the stay with you. So what we suggest is, what would you shift from ambient fragrance to emotion? Very often now you use very sophisticated fragrance, quite nice, pleasant and so on, but you could do more. You could much more. So imagine, what if, for hospitality, you can use this scent to reduce the guest stress at the lobby when arrival, or enhance the focus in the meeting room, or boost the wellness in the fitness energy with energy. And this is what we can do right now, to use this fragrance as a very strong tool to impact the emotion of your consumer. And this is not theory, this is reality proven by neuroscience, and the future is now. So this is why, with my passion for fragrance, I have decided to create a brand called à moi, meaning for me, combining all the intelligence of a perfumer, neuroscientist, olfactotherapist, to develop, through the à moi care tech process from brief to validation, fragrance that can stimulate your mind into relaxation, concentration, focus, or joy. So, how we can do that? Sorry. Okay. Ha ha ha. So, oh, we did it. No worries. The technique, so. Okay. So the way we did it, so à moi is the first. There's some slide after. Okay. So this is the first French olfactive fragrance brand designed to boost your emotion. So how we did do the research to make sure the fragrance was delivering this emotion. So we didn't ask people, do you like it, or make a classical survey. We listened at their brain, and we use electroencephalogram tools to look at your neuromarker during, before, and after the session. We look also at electroencephalogram data, cardiac data for your rhythm cardiac, and breathable data. So with all of that, we've been able to design fragrance and prove that it was working to simulate your emotion. And being daughter of 2 doctors, this is why I have to do that like that. So with à moi, if we go back, okay, we have developed 4 babies. The first one is called à moi l'appel du bleu, which is to relax. There is one called See, Sun and Smile, which is an invitation to joy, positivity that we all need. There is à moi le pouvoir du flow, which is about focus, concentration. People in meditation, yoga, they love it. And we have à moi coup de boost, which is all about energy that you need anytime. So we have developed eau de parfum with specific ritual that you can immerse yourself very quickly, and we have also great diffuser to get some room. So just let me imagine why it could be interesting for your hotel? What if at the reception, when people come, you boost their positivity and the welcome with CSUN and smile? What if you want to help people with have jet lag to sleep better? You can have on their bedroom, next to the bed, a kind of armoire relaxation or armoire to re-energize yourself. We have also some spa at the moment using armoire in their protocol as an eau de parfum and also in a mood for people to get feeling better and get away quicker. For example, with armoire or not armoire, the protocol of caring, people think it's 1 hour when it's 20 minutes for the same protocol they did the day before. So this is how, with the fragrance, you can change the perception and make people encore the amplification. So what we suggest is how, in your hobby, hospitality, we can help you in different locations to get a memory for consumer to get a good experience and amplify the experience. We can copy very often the decoration, the look, the feel, but something which is very anchor in your emotion is very difficult to replicate. And what is interesting also, a lot of people are asking to get access to the product to live again this experience when they go at home. So it's like a getaway to escape, but to reconnect with you and to get better score. So this is the invisible competitive advantage, the layer of luxury. So we do believe that the future of hospitality is going to be very emotional architecture. I believe that it will combine neuroscience, well-being, sensory design, and personalization, as the scent is the fastest way to get access to your consumer. So with Armoire, we explore this dimension for hotel, hospitality, spa, institute. And we believe in it, and this is the future of experiential luxury to boost your well-being, as what is very important is to be really to connect, to pause, and to be yourself at your best. So I think this is slow down is the good way to make people happy. Voila, so I'm very happy about, thank you very much for this invitation, and I'm very happy to present you Armoire for those that would be interesting to discover it live. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Pascal, for that very informative presentation. I know I already got a little preview of that yesterday. I've been using my bracelet before and after my presentations. I just had one question for you before we break. Is there scientific proof that scent can truly change emotional scent, and how can we measure emotional impact?
Of course, it was all the story behind this fragrance is not just to talk about emotion, because any fragrance can procure an emotion. What it's important to us is to develop fragrance, design and engineer from the beginning to stimulate an emotion. Meaning we have to go from different molecules we selected, technology we selected, a way to design the fragrance. And when everything was ready, we gave this baby to independent neurolab that also work for Alzheimer, to listen the brain. So you are like that to say, is it going to work? So yes, we have proof of evidence, and this is why. So yes, for example, yes, take an example. For the focus, for example, if you got it, we have 75% of the people that have the neuromarker of arousal getting bumping, and the cardiac rhythm is slowing down. For the joy, 80% of people declare a super positive mood, and here the mental load neuromarker decreased for 64% of them. This is what I like is a science, and yes, this is a strong research behind it to prove it, and not from theory to practice.
Wow. Thank you very much, and how cool that it's a science that we can experience as well.